Now these are the people you should market to. Now you know about the 80-20 rule? Should I just explain really quickly that it's just one of those things that a philosopher in the 1700s, Pareto, discovered that it's just a fact of life in all aspects that 80% of the output comes from 20% of the input. It's an efficiency thing. So if I decide to throw fertiliser on my vegetable garden, as long as I put some on, I'm going to get a benefit by putting on. It doesn't really, it's the fine tuning later comes, but it's marginally drops away. So, and you will know if you look at your business that 80% of your profit or the success of your business is being driven by a very small group of people. Let me tell you, when the Athlete's Foot store here years ago used to be over in West Tamworth, and it was actually a company store, and we purchased that store from the company, and I said to the fellow, this was the New South Australian CEO, and I said, Dave, a store turning over $500,000 or whatever it was, that doesn't really matter. I said, how many customers do you reckon you have? And he said, oh, in a store like this, we would have, 4,000 or 5,000 people that shop here to generate that income. Now, I'm a methodical sort of operator, so we recorded everybody. And to my astonishment, that we had about 750 core clients who were providing most of that income. And so it was really, once you identify them, then you can do something with them. You don't need a lot of people to make your business work if you can get these things to happen. So 20% of if you accept that 20% of your people are probably driving 80% of your business. Now, and if you think that 20% are probably my A-class customers, they like what I'm doing, they're the people that have these qualities. So I would say to you, and they are then strongly aligned with my mission, but not just aligned like in really aligned. They're wedded to what we do. So I would suggest to you that in terms of managing your customer base so that you can grow the business, is what we're meant to be talking about, that they are the people, and I'm a bit pedantic, the only people that I would bother marketing to. Because if I can develop that group, the rest will come, because they will refer, they'll bring people in. So that I'd say, why would I waste my time advertising to the whole of Tamworth when I know I only need 50 people on my books to drive my business? And they'll come back. In real estate, it's a really interesting one, that lifetime value. So now, so it's some discussion about that. Does anybody want to confirm that that's really what they're doing?
I think, from my point of view as a customer, there are businesses around that want to bring in new business, so they will market to new people, to bring new people in. But they've got clients, or good clients who've been there for, say, years, and they're not looking after them.
They're not looking after them?
No. Example being Elgas. I've been an Elgas customer for many, many years, and winter coming on, and they want to offer these new Mickey Mouse deals to
new people.
But I go,
exactly,
because I want 2 new bottles of gas and cheap.
Yeah, you've been with them for years and years and years, and they totally ignore you and think they'll build a business by bringing in other people.
Yeah, whereas if they looked after me, I would say to everybody that I know,
exactly.
Hey, why don't you go to Elgas?
Thank you. That is exactly the model, I reckon, where they do that. Look at Telstra. The money that they spend trying to bring in people because they can't keep up with the ones that are totally pissed off.
When I left Telstra,
well, that's right.
When I left Telstra, because it perceived indifference and just that, and I thought, no, stuff it. And I went somewhere else, and it really wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. They were to me within 3 weeks of me leaving them, offering me a $1,200 colour photocopier. And that one side of me went, no, stick it up your nose, you know.
Yeah.
But the other side of me wasn't happy with the other one. And I'm going to miss out on, I wanted this, and I hated it. And I crumbled and I took it and I went back to it. And I hated it.
But isn't it interesting? You're telling-
So ultimately,
And then it took 3 months to get the photocopier and I was on the phone using their stupid phone system.
But you know, the interesting thing is that you see what Telstra have completely missed the point, because you're here tonight telling us how hard it was to get, you know, to
And
get
a
all
poor
this,
girl, the
and
new
you're
rep
really
from the
regretful.
Telstra shop that happened to walk into in the door, who got all guns blazing. I felt really sorry for her.
When I did this talk in Tamworth, I'm not with Telstra, thank goodness, but I had been into the Telstra shop to try and negotiate something around the phone, and I mean, seriously, when I did the thing, you know, I had to say, sorry, I just need counselling, I haven't got over it. It was such a bad experience. Yes, I could,
As an example, not quite as silly as that, we're having, at the moment in my business, we're having an end of financial year sale that's come from basically our major supplier. And rather than just go out and advertise that, we went back and rang everybody that had got a quote off us in the last 3 months before it was advertised. And we said to them, this is going to be advertised, I want you to have the opportunity. A lot of people actually said that they appreciated
Look,
it.
let me tell you a little story. With the real estate people that I started off with, when I do my consulting, one of the things that I learned is that every business, every industry, there is something that's really key to its success, something that drives it. And often people can be in business for years and not discover what it is. Like I was telling someone today, I was talking about some of this, about if you're running interstate trucks. I've done some weird jobs, but well, not weird, that's not right at all, but why? Everything from solicitors, legal firms to interstate trucks. I learned that if you're running trucks, the profit is in the last 2 tonnes you put on. If you don't run with 26 tonne and go at 24, you're going to run all the way to Brisbane and barely break even. The profit's in the last little bit. In real estate, what caught my eye was that every person in Australia that actually owns a home statistically sells it and moves in between 5 and 7 years. Now, when I thought about that, I said to my client, if we build a business to hang on to those people, knowing that they will move, I reckon you can just have this small group that will actually drive your business. Now, I'm going to come back to that later. But following on your comment, Janine, what we actually we built a system that, now I've lost the thread, we built a system to manage that, which had rewards and everything else in it. But that cycle of those people going around and then bringing others in with it because they were happy, turned that business from the smallest in 18 months to the largest turnover in Ireland. It's just astronomical. But quite an investment in what we did about database and capturing and understanding the information. So you do have to, someone said nodding because you're in industries where that's part of what you do. And I'm sorry, I had a point that was going to hang off that, and in my waffling way, I lost it. David?
Just a piece of totally irrelevant information, but interestingly enough, in the meat industry, for example, the meat pays the bills. The profit is in the byproducts.
Yes.
So it's just interesting.
Actually, I did, yes, understand.
That's
Yes.
your 80-20 thing
I
again.
think one other piece of riveting stuff about the meat industry is it's a manufacturing business which takes things apart.
Let's take things apart.
So David, do you want me to take you to a knackery? Because I can.
It's how they take them apart is troubling some of us.